Hello everybody. Today I want to show you some code I've been working on for a project, and I am in PyCharm. Now you can see that I am using a class right here, and you can also see that I'm using a while loop. I'm using the try except blocks. You can also see that I have a for loop. And I have an if else statement in my for loops right here. Now, what is this program supposed to do? Well, I'll just show you right here. So I'm going to click run. And it's going to say enter your first name, but don't enter the exclamation mark because it will cause an error. I did this on purpose so I could show off what a try except block is. So it's trying right now to run this code here. But if you enter an exclamation mark, it's going to raise a value error. So I'm just going to show you. I'm going to enter this exclamation mark, and then you will get the text. Please do not enter an exclamation mark. We will now quit the program. And now that's it. Now I'm going to try it again, and I'm going to write professor. I'm going to write sassafras. I'm going to write 1-800 root beer soda for my phone number. And I'm going to write soda at yahoo.com, and CIS will be our major, and yes, we will be taking that class with Joseph Carmen, and we can press Q to quit, or we can loop back through and add more people. So I'm going to enter another person. I'm going to write Han, then I'm going to write solo, and his number will be 1-800 smuggle, if I can spell it right, smuggle me. And Han Solo at smuggling.com, and his major will be stealing. And yes, he will be taking the class. And I'll just add one more person. We're going to add Darth, and we're going to add Sidious, and I don't know his last name, E for evil, and we'll do 1-800 unlimited power, and evil at power.com. His major, Darth Sidious's major, would probably be politics, and no, he will not. And I'll press Q to quit to end my while loop. And what you'll see is it will have produced this table in our code. So you see the first bit, we have the last name, the first name, the middle initial, we have the phone numbers, we have the email, we have the major, and we have whether they're taking the class or no. And there are a total of 3 people in the list. 2 people said yes to taking the class, but this isn't all. I also did an F is equal to open my fileman2 text, and A for append. And once it is open, it writes a new line, so it goes down a line, so we're not just staying on the same line when we type. And then it is writing these labels that we have right here on our top bit of code. Then it goes down a line, and then it prints this, and then it closes. And then we have our counter, and we also have our for loop right here. And our for loop will, for like the number of characters or Q that are in the list, it is going to essentially print it. And then after it is printed, it will then write it immediately onto our file, which is called FileMan2 text. So while all of this was going on and I was talking to you, the program I wrote this onto a file called MyFileMan2. And if you don't have MyFileMan2, it will create it and write it. And now we're down here toward the end of my code, which is asking, do we want to read the file that we created? Press Y if yes. And here's our if statement. If the question is equal to Y, then my journal will open the FileMan2 text. Contents will be equal to my journal, which is equal to FileMan2 text, and it'll be .read. So instead of this A function, we're doing .read, so we can actually read the contents. And then we're going to print contents if we do yes. So I'm going to hit yes. And what you can see is down here, every single list that I made, or every single time I have ran this program, it has printed it out. So here's the first time, and I have repeatedly ran this whole batch of code just to make sure everything works. And we can also open up my FileMan2 text. And we're going to open it up in Notepad. And we have a big long list of every single time we have created the table right here. And that is the end of my project for now. I'm going to add more to it. But I hope you got something out of this, because you can see this program is using classes, we're using lists, we're using counting functions, we're using try and else statements, and both types of loops, try and except statements, and we are writing into another file. I honestly think this is a pretty basic function, but over time we will start to learn how to do a little bit more advanced stuff. And thank you for taking the time to look at my code. And this is Professor Sassafras signing out today. Thank you.